too.
See, I don't mind the casual, but I'm only good for like...
I get bored with it. Yeah.
The one thing I do still enjoy about it's the progression you get, like unlocking stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Except for
but after I unlock it all and then prestige and have to unlock it all again, it's kind of like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, I'm not doing the weapon prestige again. I can promise you that. For what, a camo? I'll do just fine without it ever again.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of Uncivilized-Investigations.
Remembered it this
I remembered
time.
it this time.
It's amazing.
Doing wonderfully.
Well, after last week's, I think we're going to tone it down a little bit, 'cause that one was a little out there.
Did you sleep all right?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I didn't. I started convulsing and talking in tongues. And
this is where we're going to leave you. I got one for you today. It's another missing persons case. Still, again, fairly recent. In the past 20 years or so.
Recent.
Compared to yours, 250 years ago.
Well, yeah.
220 years ago. But this is the disappearance of Asha Degree. Anything you want to add, Brody?
No.
All right. The morning of February 14th, Asha went missing from her family home in Shelby, North Carolina. Without any reason, it appeared that she had packed some of her belongings and began walking along North Carolina Highway 18 in the early morning hours in heavy rain and snow.
I solved it. She walked away. Case solved.
See you next time.
That's it. That's a wrap.
She was seen by motorists that called to report unusual sight, and one motorist had even circled around, but she had run off into the nearby woods, probably because this weird car was chasing her.
Well, yeah, I mean...
The next day, she was discovered missing by her parents and had not been seen since.
I always love that. Discovered missing. I feel like it's an oxymoron.
Wouldn't have been the lack of discovering her. Shit. Asha was the youngest daughter of Harold and Aquila Degree, who were married on Valentine's Day in 1988. Oddly enough, their wedding anniversary was the day that she went missing.
And the year I was born.
Yeah. A year later, their oldest child was born, O'Brien, in 1988, and the following year, on August 5th, 1990, Asha was born. Asha was born.
I don't know, your notes say Aha was born.
Aha!
So.
The Degree family lived in the mostly rural area of northern Shelby, North Carolina, which is in western North Carolina, close to the border of South Carolina. That was a lot of Carolinas.
That is a little hey Carolina.
As of the 2000 census, the population was 19,477. More than half of the population was white, and a little over 40% was African American, and a final 10-ish% was divided amongst other races.
People actually check that other box? I never knew that.
Well, I mean...
Or a bubble, whatever it is. Anyway.
I identify as a Apache helicopter.
I'm a toaster.
No wonder nobody wants to take a bath with you. Both parents had full-time jobs. Harold was a dock worker at Pittsburgh Plate Glass, and Aquila worked for the Kauai American Manufacturing, where they built pianos. They had raised their children within the boundaries of being able to let themselves in after school, and would be completing their schoolwork or already having it complete by the time the parents had returned home. I'm sure both of our parents wish we would have been like that.
I still have homework that's overdue.
I still got a library book somewhere. I actually found one of Anthony's library books earlier. I'm like, you're in a different school now.
We own this now.
Harold and Aquila kept their children insulated from outside influences by surrounding the children around their extended family, church, and school. They did not have the internet at home, and fearing that it would easily corrupt the children, Aquila had said, every time you turned on the TV, there was some pedophile who would lure somebody's child away via the internet. She had said that in a 2013 interview. Her parents said Asia handled these restrictions well and was cautious, shy, and content to stay within the limits her parents set. Asia was also terrified of dogs, so much so that Aquila had said that she thought she would never go outside in fear of seeing a dog.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
You don't like dogs, I don't like you.
I trust dogs more than people.
Yep. I think she was an alien.
Asia was a 4th grader at Fallston Elementary School, and leading up to the time of her disappearance, she was on a 3-day weekend from school. I think they had that Friday off. On Friday 11th, February 11th, the Friday before her disappearance, Asia and her brother were off school, but both parents still had to work. So they spent their day at a relative's house in their same neighborhood. I think it was one of their aunts. The next day, Asia and her brother both had basketball games, and Asia's team had lost, and that was the first loss of the season. Her parents said that she took this loss extremely hard after fouling out, and was crying alongside of some of her teammates after the game. She did get better and went on to watch her brother's game later in the day. My keyboard's now coming up.
Cool.
Sunday, February 13th, the family went to church with relatives and then returned home. Around 8 o'clock that night, both children had gone to bed, and they shared a bedroom.
How old were they?
I think they were 9 and 10.
Oh, okay.
Very young.
I was thinking she was older when she ran away, but...
Nope. That comes up later as well. Sometime after the children went to bed, the power had gone out, and I guess there was a car accident, and the power did not return until around 1 a.m.
Lucky them. When my power goes out, it's days.
Yeah, between now and 2027. After the power came back on, Harold had checked on the sleeping children before heading to bed himself around 2:30 in the morning. Afterwards, O'Brien remembered hearing Asia's bed squeak, and he did not find this suspicious, thinking that she might have just been moving around in her sleep. But apparently what had happened was, around this time, Asia had gotten out of bed, taken a book bag that she had previously packed with clothing and a few personal belongings, and left the house between 3:45 and 4:15 a.m., they think.
Huh.
A truck driver, like a big truck, and another motorist had seen her walking along Highway 180. The motorist actually circled back around to try to get another look and try to ask her for help, or if she needed help, because he thought it was pretty odd seeing somebody that young.
Like a 10-year-old walking down the highway?
At 4 in the morning?
Yeah.
But as he approached, Asia had taken off running into like a wooded area off the highway. Aquila woke up early in the morning around 5:45 to go back around the house, get it back in order after the power. I'm sure changing clocks and all that. And she wanted to get the children ready for school and make sure they got showers. When she went to wake up both the kids, she found O'Brien still laying in bed, but Asia was not there. Panicked, Aquila searched the house and without finding Asia, alerted Harold. He suggested that she might have gone over to her grandmother's house across the street, which I think is weird that...
That early in the morning?
At any point in the morning, just running out of the house over to her grandmother's house.
Yeah.
Aquila called there, and her sister-in-law, who also lived in the same neighborhood, neither of which had seen Asia. At this point, Aquila went into a panic mode, and I guess she heard a car door outside. So she quickly put shoes on and raced outside. That's what she saw, was just a neighbor's car. Running back inside, she called her mother to tell her what was going on.
Again. Or is this the other grandma?
I think the other... Oh. I think it's the husband's parents that live in the neighborhood. She called her mother, and then her mother told her to call the police to report Asia missing, which I don't know why she wouldn't have started with that.
Yeah.
The police then made a public announcement of the missing girl, and after seeing this, the motorist that had passed by her called in to report his sightings. He explained that the motorist circled back a couple times, I think around 3 times, and it was when he went to approach her that she fled into the woods. He reported what she was wearing, and it was consistent with what the family and the police believed she would have been wearing. And both the drivers were also consistent with where they had seen her, close to the same place.
So we believe both drivers saw her.
Yes. Because it was they were within the same area, and what direction she was heading in. By 6:40 a.m., the search went underway for Asia. The first officers on scene had brought dogs, but they were unable to pick up a scent. Which I don't know how...
That's
even
weird.
with it raining, I think they should be able to get something.
You would think.
Aquila went through their neighborhood, calling out Asia's name, and basically, through her screaming, woke up all the neighbors by 7. At this point, friends, families, and neighbors had canceled what they were doing that day to help with the search for her. The family's pastor and other clergymen on the church came to the family's home to offer their support on a spiritual level. And at the end of the first day of searching, all that was found was a single mitten, which Aquila said does not belong to Asia because none of their winter clothing was missing.
Okay, a mitten I get. The underwear in the last case was a little weird.
I mean, I lose gloves.
I lose work gloves monthly, so...
Yeah, I should buy stock in Milwaukee gloves. Local news outlets had done interviews with the witnesses who had seen Asia in the early morning and was providing as much coverage with whatever materials they had to just try to help with the search. On February 15th, candy wrappers were found in a shed of a local business in the area where Asia was seen to be running into the woods. Also found a pencil, a green marker, and a yellow hair bow that were identified as belonging to Asia. Among other things found was a picture of a girl that the Degree family did not recognize. However, later, it was found out that this was a photo of a friend of Asia's. These were the only belongings found of hers during the first search efforts. February 16th, Aquila was going through Asia's bedroom and found that her favorite clothing was missing, which she must have packed in her backpack. After only a week after not finding more, the search was eventually called off. They spent about 9,000 man hours during a search of a 2 to 3 mile radius. It's a lot of man hours, too.
Yeah.
This was the area of which she was last seen, and the authorities felt they exhausted their efforts. Which I think 2 to 3 days in a 2 to 3 mile search area, or a week in a 2 to 3 mile search area, they could have went a little wider.
Yeah.
Flyers had been handed out and posted, which led to 300 tips that ranged from possible sightings to tips about abandoned buildings, houses, and wells that she could possibly have been in. In a news conference, the county sheriff, Dan Crawford, told the public, "We have never really had that good first substantial lead," and urged the media to keep the story alive in hopes that someone knew something and would come forward. He says that, but they had the 2 leads that they thought were very consistent.
Yeah.
He had also said that he was going long range with the search efforts, and both the FBI and North Carolina's State Bureau of Investigation got involved and were using their databases for missing children to continue the search. After all of the agencies had felt they'd done all the searching in the area that they could, Crawford said, "We're following everything." Using what Aquila had told investigators of what Asia had taken with her, they believed that she had planned this runaway for several days before leaving. I think this is SBI, so that's the State Bureau of Investigation. An SBI agent told reporters that she's not your typical runaway, and using statistics from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, noted that most runaways are 12 and older. The FBI also noticed that there were a lack of issues that she would run away from, such as having issues at home or poor academic performance. So basically, she didn't really have a reason.
There was no reason to run away.
Although all of this, investigators believe running away was the reason for her missing, and that she either got off track or had been abducted in her efforts. A month after her disappearance, media attention went national, and the family appeared on national news outlets, and her picture was on America's Most Wanted. In March of 2000, a full-size billboard was put up by police along Highway 180 near where Asia had last seen. In May of 2001, a driver in the local stock car racing scene put her picture on his car for an event in North Carolina. Kind of like Grandview
cool.
here.
Yeah.
Because that driver did end up becoming on the pro circuit, but at the time it was like little local guys. In August 2001, at a construction project near Morganton, North Carolina, a book bag discovered that had Asia's name and phone number inside. The book bag was wrapped in two black plastic trash bags and was buried along the site. I think he said he was like just starting construction with bulldozing, so it wasn't very deep.
Yeah.
This site was about 26 miles away from where Asia had gone missing. The book bag was sent to Quantico, Virginia to be examined in the laboratory for forensic analysis. They did come out sooner than what I had written about the contents.
I was going to say, what you have written is 19 years.
Yeah, no, it was sooner than that. Because I used many different sources for this. And I was just kind of making notes and throwing them in. And for many years after this, leads continued to come in, but all led to dead ends. In 2004, a tip was received by an inmate at the county jail that led investigators to begin digging at an intersection in Lawndale, North Carolina. But all that were found were bones, and they were confirmed to be from an animal. So finally one that's not other humans.
Yeah, still finding bones though.
And
find us some Bigfoot bones.
Any day now. In 2005, the local offices of ServPro and Republic GDS, which was like a waste management company, put images on Asia of 28 vehicles. I think one company did it for 30 days, the other company did it for 60. They featured an image of when she first went missing, as well as an age progression image, hoped to develop more leads. The president of the local GDS, Drew Eisenhower, stated, "We are doing this for one reason and one reason only, and that is to find Asha Degree. Then we can move forward and help other missing children also." The age progression photo was generated by the FBI. The Degree family continued to keep the case and Asia's memory alive and in public's eye. In 2008, they developed a scholarship in her name and also began to host an annual walk that started at their home and led to the billboard the police put up with the missing person's photo. Investigators also continue to refresh the age progression photo, and inside of the Degree home, her parents still decorate it with photos of her then and use the age progression photos, actually.
That's a little creepy.
Very creepy. Just think, when you die, I'll just do an age progression photo of you and I'll keep that.
What, a mummy?
In 2013, Aquila stated in an interview that she felt Asia's disappearance hadn't gotten as much media attention over the years as other cases of missing children because Asia was black, and missing white children get more attention. I don't understand why. I know if you ask, they will say it's not racial. That was a quote from Aquila.
Moving on.
Yep. I just thought it was odd given the search effort and the continued effort to come out and say that, but I just thought it was notable.
Yeah. I'm just going to refrain.
Let's not get canceled a few weeks in.
Yeah.
In February 2015, the FBI and Cleveland County Sheriff Office of Investigators were re-examining the case and interviewing witnesses again. They also put up a $25,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for her disappearance. Along with the $25,000 reward, a local group added another $20,000 reward. And then there was a break in the investigation until 15 months later, the FBI announced that they had turned up a possible new lead and had a description of a dark green 1970s era Lincoln Continental or Ford Thunderbird with rust around the wheel wells may have been seen with Asia getting into it.
They say where?
They did not. I do think it's weird though how they would put a Continental and a Thunderbird together.
Yeah, so they don't
the
look anything
Thunderbird's a
like
2-door and the Continental's a 4-door.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, like any old Lincoln, I'm sure the Thunderbird could have fit in the trunk of it. In September 2017, the FBI announced that its Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team was now in Cleveland County to assist in the investigation. and also to provide on-the-ground investigative, technical, behavioral analysis, and analytical support to find out more about what happened to Asia. Why it took them 16 years to get there, I'm not sure.
They got lost en route.
They followed the signs. For 10 days, the teams worked alongside of the FBI, the CCSO, that's the Cleveland County Sheriff, the North Carolina FBI agents, and then after the 10 days, they met several times together in the months following to go over any progression in the investigation. Since their first get-together in September, they had conducted over 300 more interviews. They've just been interviewing everybody.
But why are they doing this so many years later?
I don't understand. Like, after reading this, it makes sense a little bit, but it just seems maybe they were reconvening and doing it again.
Maybe.
Since 2018, the CCSO detectives appealed for more information about the items found in the book bag recovered at the construction site. The contents were revealed as a Dr. Seuss book, I forget which one, but it had been borrowed by the Fallston Elementary School in the early 2000s, and there was a New Kid on the Block t-shirt. One of the investigators said that these were vital clues in the case.
I don't see how.
Well, I mean, the book being from the same elementary school, that's pretty significant.
But the backpack had her name in it. They knew that it was her backpack. That wasn't a mystery.
In November of 2020, an inmate named Marcus Mellon, who had already been convicted of 6 sex crimes against 6 children 6 years earlier. I really need to break that up more.
I read it 3 times.
Wrote a letter to Shelby Star claiming that Degree had been murdered and he knew where to find her. Shelby Star was a newspaper. 2 months later, the sheriff announced that Mellon's claims had been another dead end in finding Asia. I guess they looked into it and he would have had no ties to it. In September 24, a search warrant was executed by the CCSO and the FBI in relation to the case. This September was the first time authorities said they believed that Asia had been killed and that members of the Dedmon family may have played a role in the possible homicide.
Who are they?
We're
haven't got there yet. Sorry.
That never changed. Hold on.
3 hours later.
The family maintains they have no involvement to her disappearance. Lizzie, one of the daughters, was 16 years old when Asia first went missing, and Sarah was 15. After law enforcement searched the Dedmon properties, a man came forward and told investigators that he occasionally went to bars and house parties with the Dedmon girls in the mid-2000s. He told officers that at one point he saw Lizzie was very drunk and upset, and at one point admitted that she killed Asha Degree. After hearing this, Sarah became enraged and told Lizzie to shut the fuck up. The man told investigators that this was caught him very off guard because Sarah was not typically like that. Since such a large window of time had passed, this happened, he was confirmed that he was 100% positive those moments and was given a polygraph test based on the information he provided, and he passed the test. Although polygraph in North Carolina...
They're not admissible in court.
Investigators from CCSO said they believe there is evidence of obstruction of justice in connection with Asia's disappearance. A news release from the sheriff's office stated the warrant was based on physical evidence. Multiple items were recovered, and one of which was a 1964 AMC Rambler, which was green and kind of rusty. But no human remains were discovered. The search warrant indicated that Asia was a homicide victim and that her body was concealed. Investigators believe that Roy Dedmon's daughters were responsible, or at least had involvement, for Asia's disappearance. Because the girls were 16 and younger, they believe that the adult assistance was given from Roy and Connie. 2 items that were found in the backpack had returned evidentiary results linking Anna Lee and another man named Russell Underhill. After the searches were concluded, the Dedman family denied any involvement in the case. Family's attorney asked the public not to jump to any conclusions, and law enforcement actually said the same. The Dedman family attorney alluded to Underhill in a press conference and said the search would sadly link this person to Asia's disappearance, but unfortunately Underhill had passed in 2004. That was September. So in October of
2024 instead of 2004.
So 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement got a search warrant for Lizzie's iCloud and reviewed several conversations of interest. And this is going to be painful to listen to for a minute, but just bear with me. On September 10th, a conversation between Sarah and Lizzie, the two talked about the shirt. And from Sarah, they think it's our shirt, it's not hers, and her mom said it wasn't hers. I don't remember that shirt. I'm scared though. Dad is probably going to be a huge suspect. On September 11th, 2024, another conversation. This was between Anna Lee and Lizzie. Anna Lee said, Lizzie, you don't need to be talking to anyone. I'm at the lawyer's office now. They advised we should not talk to them without representation. Again, later on September 11th, Lizzie's conversation to her ex-husband. This is going to get nothing but worse. I'm talking to my doctor at 5 to get something for my nerves. I'm just so worried, so worried. I mean, it's a nightmare that's going to keep getting worse. I can see nothing good happening anytime soon, and I'm an optimist. The ex-husband replied, oh, I hate it for y'all. And Lizzie replied, there is no way this is going to be okay. The next day, on September 12th, another conversation between Lizzie and Sarah. Lizzie said, I just talked to David Teddy, who was a family lawyer. The theory is I did it. Accident, covered it up. Sarah replied, no, why would it be you? Lizzie replied back, that's what he said. Again, September 12th, Lizzie to her ex-husband. Lizzie says, I feel so horrible, so horrible. I don't know what to do. I caused this. Ex-husband says, no, you didn't. On September 12th, between Lizzie and Sarah, Lizzie says, hey, is everyone what mad at me? Sarah replied, nobody is, Lizzie. This is not your fault. September 29th, another one between Lizzie and Sarah. Lizzie, I'm just so anxious about, what's going on behind the scenes. What are they doing now? What's going to happen to me since I wouldn't talk to them? And that was based off of in September 28th when she was approached by law enforcement and refused talking. She said, I'm afraid it's going to get worse. Well, he told me it was going to. Sarah replied, I know, girl. I'm a disaster. I think if they come at you again, you just go and be compliant. Sarah said, that's what I'm planning on doing. Lizzie says, I think so too, honestly. I mean, I want to do what Dad says, but damn. Sarah said, and maybe we should have let you do what you originally wanted to do. Lizzie says, I don't know. I really don't know. Sarah said, right? You don't want something we do or say impact him, but we can't be living like this either. I mean, I told him I'm not going to do that. Lizzie says, right? Oh, you did? What did he say? Sarah said, it's not like it's worth our mental health. Lizzie goes, right? Sarah says, he was just like, I will call Teddy and we can go get a polygraph with the honest people. Lizzie, oh, okay. Sarah, I just don't have it in me to go through what you have been through. Lizzie said, it's been hell. The rest of that doesn't matter. February 13th, 2025, the CCSO executed another search warrant and seized the cell phones from local man and his 2 children. These were the father and I believe it was Lizzie and Sarah. And then that was the part that should have got cut out. On April 4th, authorities searched more properties in Lincoln County, North Carolina, including the old Northbrook Elementary School, looking for any new evidence or remains. And it was the old building. It wasn't like it was some schools have, that's the old one. It's still in service. That one wasn't in use anymore. But yeah, I thought that text conversations and all that.
I can't believe they're not on that deal unless they are.
They are, because
this is an ongoing case.
Yeah. I tried finding more after April 4th and nothing. So I keep looking at it, hoping to see more.
Yeah, I'd like to know, because I feel like Lizzie and Sarah, yeah. They know something.
And I didn't save it or I cut it out because somehow I did my news. But somehow that T-shirt was somehow related to that Ullman guy. I think or maybe it was one of the items in the backpack was related to the Ullman guy.
Well, there was a T-shirt, but I thought her mom said it was her T-shirt.
It was not her T-shirt.
Oh.
And the book was borrowed from her school after she had gone missing.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that part.
I did a terrible job editing this one.
But
this is what I did on the computer, and I was like trying to go through 4 different things.
So she's dead.
Very much assumed. Well, in 2024, it was the first time the authorities had said that they believe she had been killed.
Yeah. And I think Lizzie and Sarah know.
My guess was they were probably driving to go to a party or something, drinking and being underage, and might have clipped her, or coming home from a party.
Ooh.
Being the time of night it was.
Yeah.
And then...
Or she was sneaking out to go to the party and they hit her when they were picking her up. Or she overdosed. I thought that dude said that the one night she was at a party. Oh no, that was Lizzie.
He was talking about Lizzie and Sarah.
Okay.
Lizzie was the one that said that she had killed her.
But what made her run away anyway?
That's even more... I mean, if they find out what happened to her, that's great. That'd be awesome.
Oh.
But the answers as to what she would run away from...
Yeah.
That's why I made it.
I like your idea that they were on their way to a party and she...
hit her with the car.
And then her parents helped her cover it up. Or that Underhill guy
might have been with them when they hit her.
Yep.
And I don't know, the T-shirt might have been used to do something with her. But the bigger mystery will be why she ran away. That's why I made a mention of the basketball game. Because they made a note of it, of how emotional she was over it.
Yeah, but she's 10.
She's 9.
9. Yeah,
it was very odd.
I'm curious if more comes out. We'll have to do an update.
Yeah, the billboard is still there.
Yeah, we'll have to do an update when I'm sure more information is going to come out.
I have it set to give me any notifications about it. I keep looking up, and I set it on like my Google News thing.
But yeah, that's our episode for the week. Like and subscribe. Join us on any of our social medias.
Yeah, interact with us. Give us ideas if you could think of any.
Anything you want us to cover, we'll cover. Feel free to reach out to us and we can discuss things. Whatever you want to do. But we will catch you next week.
Thanks for watching.